Hey guys, Matthew Morrow, MorrowInvest.com. I'm bringing you today's 2-minute tip of the day. So today's tip, I want to talk about a guy that I met when I was probably in my early 20s. His name's Joe McClary. He's a great guy, great man of God, very, very smart. And he was teaching a class on either Sunday morning or Wednesday night. I can't remember at the moment. But I went to him and I said, hey, I want you to mentor me. And if you know Joe, Joe has a very stern face, and he was very concerned looking as he thought about this. And he said, okay, let me pray about it and I'll tell you what I think. So about a week later, I come to him and I said, hey, what do you think about mentoring me? And he said, I will, but if we're gonna do this, you're gonna do what I tell you to. I said, okay. So he said, if you want to get better, you've got to learn to memorize things. And I said, oh, well, I started immediately giving excuses. Oh, well, I can't memorize things. I'm so ADD, I can't memorize things, right? And he said, do you want me to mentor you? And I was like, yes. And he says, then you're going to memorize things. I said, okay. So what we actually were doing was memorizing scriptures. And so we would pick small ones and big ones, and we would meet lunch probably once a month. We'd probably meet maybe sometimes as much as 2 times a month. And before we ordered, we would sit down and we would quote each other kind of our verse of the days, and we had 10 of them. And every time he would add, and every time we would meet, he would want me to repeat all 10. So each time we were getting longer and longer. We had memorized 11, and then we had memorized 12, and then we had memorized 15, right? And what it was is we were on cards, and it was repetition, repetition, repetition. We've talked about this before when I talked about singing. You know, we can hear some song from the 80s, or you can hear some cartoon theme from your childhood in the 70s or 80s, and you, bam, immediately remember what cartoon that was, or what you were eating Cheerios or whatever. You can remember, oh, I heard that song on my wedding day. Right? You are immediately taken back to that emotional place, and you remember what was going on. And you know what else? You remember the words. You remember the melody, and you can sing it. So if you can remember all those words to all those songs, you can memorize things. I have a lot of people in business that say, well, I like doing this particular thing in my field, in business, but I don't like doing all that other stuff. Let me tell you, if you want to be successful, I'm not talking about like mildly successful, like, well, you did all right. I'm talking about like you are doing great. You are in the upper echelon of society financially wise. To do that, you need to be good at not only what you do, but the other parts of your life. Now, you could say, well, Matthew, you do pretty well for yourself. Do you know everything about accounting? Nope. Do you know everything about the law? Nope. Accounting laws are always changing. The law is always changing. The rules are always changing. What do? Well, 2 things. 1, I surround myself with high quality people that do know those things. And 2, I still take continuing education. It is a constant learning process. I am constantly paying for continuing education, listening to webinars, reading books, going on trips, to surround myself with people that do know those answers so that you can continue to sharpen a blade. You know, if you had a knife, you wouldn't just sharpen it one time and it's done forever. No, the blade dulls after time and you have to resharpen it. So I encourage you to pull out your mental knives and resharpen yourself on a daily basis. Daily, you need to be going through these things, going through practices that make you better. This goes for everything, whether it be education, physical, spiritual, it doesn't matter. Whatever your goals are, you need to regularly be going over them to resharpen yourself to be ready for the world. I hope this blesses you guys. Have a great day.